Morning, afternoon and evening, my crazies. My name's Angela, I'm the Crazy Puppy Lady, and welcome to Whips, Bits and Chat number 39. Right, so what have I got up for you this week? Right, so first up is our video catch-up. So for this week I managed to scoot out 3 videos for you. So our first one, it is the cotton review. It was a size comparison between the Aldi yarn that I'd bought, the Signet Whopper, that stuff is mahoosive, and the sugar and cream, which I haven't actually used yet, but I thought, well, as some of you will have had access to that, especially if you're in the US, you'll be able to see the size difference between that tatty stuff that we get from Aldi's and what we can purchase online. So that was video number 1. Video number 2 was Throwback Friday. Now with the Throwback Friday series, my plan is to basically rehash some old videos, so that if you miss them or you just look at the playlist and think, oh my gosh, how many hours, this way it means you don't have to really go off and bulk watch a whole playlist. It means you can just watch the Throwback Fridays, and it will then give you 3 new videos to watch in amongst the ones that you may have missed during the week, because of course you'll get Throwback Friday, and then you on your Whips and Bits on a Sunday I will tell you of any videos I've made during the week that you may have missed because you were too busy watching throwback videos. Sorry, couldn't resist. Right, and then the last one out was my happy mail that I received during the week from Corinne at Aragurumi Ninja. Now that is beautiful. The yarn is stunning. No, I haven't even started working on it. I haven't even started using her other stuff really that she sent me a couple of weeks back. Corinne, my room is filling up. I'm not going to be able to move soon. I'll be sleeping on yarn. Right, so they were the 3 videos basically for this week. Right, I'm also going to pop a link in to last week's Whips and Bits, because of course I'm running that competition over there. So if you would really love to get your hands on one of the written patterns, pop back and have a nose at that video with that competition in, and make sure that you follow the rules. Cool. Right, so also this week I ended up having to spend a day up at hubby's office waiting him for deliveries while he was out doing deliveries. Oh man. Well, anyway, what I managed to do was I picked up the blanket that I'm making, the blanket tutorial I'm making at the moment, which is the moose one, and stuck it all in a bag, stuck everything I needed in these bags and plodded up to his office, set it all up, and it looked like this. Now I was super chuffed. I was sitting there and I am doing row after row and loving it. Then all of a sudden things just went tee up. Right, I'll let you fill in the rest of the word for that one. I was looking at the rows and I was looking at what I meant to be doing, and it just didn't work. I'd finished a row on a high number of white. So by rights, when you start the next row should have a high number of white as well, but it wasn't. It only had 3 or 2, and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, crikey, I've done something wrong. So I strip it back. So of course there's a load of videos that sections I can't use. So of course I take a picture, because that's the best way of doing it. I take a picture, and normally it's got the word delete everything before this on the picture, and then I started again and I did the rows again, and again it wasn't working out. Well, it turns out that when I'd brought the pattern over from the site, when it got to row 27, I say it through gritted teeth because there's more to this story, when it gets to row 27 it had mucked up, and instead of going, say, down the pattern, it had done 26 was down, 27 should have been up, or vice versa. But what it had done is it had done 2 rows going the same direction. So there I am, sort of pulling my hair out a little bit. I go back to the pattern on the website that I am on the app that I'm using, go through all of the different settings that I need, double check it all the I've set them all back to beginning, put them back to where they want to be, copy paste it, bring it back over and start again. So I'm doing really well. Get to row 27 again. Oh, by this point I'd already stripped it all the way back to row 11, or wherever the end of the white section is. I think it might be a bit further along than that, but I've stripped it all the way back, started all the colourwork section again. Get to row 27 and I'm nearly finishing it, and I'm thinking there's too many option A, option B, or should I say too many blue, too many brown. Turns out in the key code, what I'd stupidly done right at the beginning was written down the key for brown being B and the key for blue being B. So if it was dark brown, it was DB. If it was dark blue, it was DB. If it was light brown, it was LB. Can you see where this is going? Yeah, that's right. Light blue was LB. But I'd picked that up before I'd noticed the muck-up basically before I'd downloaded anything. So I'd changed it so that the browns are B and C. Sorry, A and C on the coding. So that meant no problems. Well, of course, it hadn't saved that section. So then I've got back to the pattern, I'm doing it, and I'm getting more blue and more brown, more blue and blue and blue, where brown should be. So strip back another 3 rows, check the pattern over again, redo all the settings, bring it back off of that site, and then start again. And so of course I'm getting really irate by this point, and this was yesterday. Really irate, hair pulling out, just want to get it done so that I can show you it all today. Well, I didn't manage to get it finished. So the videos aren't going to start this week. They'll hopefully, if all goes to plan, go next week, because at this moment in time I've made it to row 30. I've got past that troublesome area of row 27. And the reason I say it's a troublesome area is because on another pattern, I've got my pattern tester. She's pattern testing Owler for me at the moment, which is one of the patterns I showed you last week. Now, on her number 27, it has completely skipped an entire colour. On all of the write-up, it's all there. On all the boxes where it's meant to be, it's there. But when you bring the write-up over, it just skips it. Luckily, she'd spotted it, and so of course she's messaging me at the same time going, "You got an issue with row 27?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I know I have." On mine? She went, "No, on mine as well. It goes light pink, or say bright pink, and then black or whatever, and there's no light pink. You know, the main body of my owl is not there." So of course I've then scooted over, we've done all the reset, we've checked it all, I've messaged them. They turn around and say it's because you didn't save it, and I'm sitting there thinking, I know I save it because I'm so, what's the right word? Anal. That's it. I have to have it, and it has to be saved, and every section is saved. Doesn't matter if it's just one letter I've changed, it's auto saved before the next letter gets changed. Because otherwise I know that with my memory the way it is, I'll forget. And so if I do a big batch of changes, there is a possibility that I wouldn't save it. So at least this way, if I auto save if I save after everything, it might be more work for me, but it's guaranteed that it shouldn't be more work at the end of it. But it's now turned into more work. Hair pulling moment. Right, let's get off of that. Let's have a look at how far I've actually managed to get. Right, so because I know the video is being delayed somewhat, And I've realised that, of course, the UK are in lockdown, and a couple of you in other countries are not going out yarn shopping as much yet. What I'm now going to do is I'm going to put the coding up to show you what colours that you will need for this blanket, so that if you do need to do an order, hopefully you'll be able to get the order out as soon as you've seen the video, choose the colours that you want to use, and by me putting this section of the chart up, you will be able to hopefully work out how much yarn you're going to need. Now, to do that, what I suggest is you get an old scrap ball that you've got, weigh it up, say it's 5 or 10 grams or whatever, and just sit there and do a basic corner to corner, no colour change or anything, just basic corner to corner until you run out. That way you'll know how many squares you'll have done with that 10 grams of yarn, and it won't matter then if you're using an Aran, a DK or a thick or whatever. It means then that you'll know that 10 grams equals this many squares, so then you can do the math from that. Right, now on to completed whips. No, nada, nothing actually complete, but with me top that I'm making, I now have the body of it, the front, the back, and 2 arms. I've just got to get the edging around the neck done and sewing it all up. You know, those 2 bits that I absolutely hate doing on a bunch of pieces of clothing, but it's nearly there and it's doing pretty well. I've had to do a little bit of colour matching on the sleeves because I can't handle them being different, like overly different. I can handle 1 row out, but not an entire block, not unless the whole thing's made so that it's meant to be skew-if and stuff, but this one wasn't. So it's getting there, it's looking good, fingers crossed for next week, but I'm spending more time on the mousse blanket than anything else at the moment. Right, what else is there? Right, so next up it is your photos. Now this one is a cupcake blanket and it has been sent in by Julie Edwards. Now Julie's has done an absolutely beautiful job. Now I did show you a part of one of her squares a couple of whips and bits back, and just to give her a little bit of a boost and to help her on. Now she is in the UK, so of course she's back on lockdown the same as me, which means she had to raid her stash for the colours. So she's not overly keen or overly happy on the pink because it's a little bit light for what she wanted, but to be honest I think it's absolutely stunning, Julie. And you've done brilliantly with that cupcake border, especially seeing as it is a piglet to get exact. Alright, I'm going to let you guys all now have a look and see what I'm chatting about. Yeah, so as I've said, I think it's absolutely gorgeous, Julie. I cannot wait to see what pattern you choose next. Right, and the very last thing is a video that my husband sent me. So thank you very much, hubby, and thank you very much, Liam, for being our little guest appearance again. This was taken last week, or at the end of last week, after we'd had our mad weather. We'd woken up to snow on the first day, it defrosted by the second day, it came back on the third day, sort of mid-afternoon, and this was taken in the evening. Now by the following morning it had defrosted yet again, so we've had nothing since that point. They keep threatening it. We've just had freezing fog and nothing else really, so fingers crossed we get some more snow because our Liam absolutely loves it.
Crunchy, crunchy, crunchy!
Right, so that's pretty much all I've got for you for this week. I'm itching to get back downstairs and carry on with the cow. So I'm gonna head off now, and I will see you all really soon. So please, if you can, stay in, definitely stay safe, and I will see you all really soon. Ta-ra for now.